Welcome to the RemoteMore Cybersecurity podcast. In each episode, we explore how fast-moving teams bake security into architecture, decisions, and growth. Whether you're a CTO, security lead, or engineering manager, this is your space for clear insights, expert thinking, and actionable strategies.
Welcome to a deep dive into a topic that, well, it touches almost every one of us who spends time online.
Yeah.
Cybersecurity. From social media accounts, work computers, cybercrime has become this inescapable part of our digital lives. It might feel like a very modern problem, but today we're going to unpack its surprisingly long and actually fascinating history.
It's truly remarkable, isn't it, to see how far we've come in such a relatively short period, especially when you think many people can still remember a time before the public internet was, commonplace. We'll explore the origins of hacking and cybersecurity, tracing their evolution from these early, almost innocent beginnings to the complex threats and defenses we face today.
Okay. So our mission for this deep dive is to really extract the most important nuggets of knowledge from our sources. We've got a collection of historical accounts, analyses of major cyber incidents, and you'll gain, hopefully, a clear understanding of this arms race between those who exploit systems and those who defend them. Lots of surprising facts and memorable stories along the way.
Yeah, and we'll demonstrate that cybersecurity isn't just about protecting network systems like the internet stuff. It's also about safeguarding data held locally, within a single computer. Understanding this historical context is, well, it's crucial for grasping the field's current undeniable importance.
So let's dig in. When we talk about hacking, our minds usually jump straight to computers, right? But what's truly eye-opening from our sources is how far back the spirit of hacking actually goes. We're talking pre-computer, all the way back to France in 1834. Two thieves essentially hacked the French telegraph system to steal financial market information. It's an incredible example of system manipulation long before silicon chips.
What's particularly striking here is how that spirit, manipulating systems for unauthorized gain or just disruption, how it manifested even without digital computers. That same ingenuity and sometimes, mischief continued right into the 1950s with phone phreaking. Individuals fascinated by how phones worked would exploit protocols to make free long-distance calls. Our sources even hint at Apple co-founders Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak's early interest in this community. Shows you just how deeply ingrained this curiosity was.
Right. Fascinating. So fast forward to the 1960s, and the term hacking itself started taking shape, though still not quite computer hacking as we know it.
Exactly. It was initially used by engineering students, places like the MIT Tech Model Railroad Club. They used it to describe optimizing machines, pushing their limits, or even just cleverly messing with these high-tech train sets to see what was possible. It was about exploration.
Okay, so that raises the big question. When did that sort of curious exploration shift specifically to computers?
Well, in 1962, an MIT student, Alan Scher, created a punch card. This card triggered a computer to print all the system passwords. He used them for more computer time, shared them with friends, even trolled teachers with taunting messages.
Wow.
So this early computer hacking, it wasn't really about financial gain yet. It was about exploring system limits, causing a bit of disruption. It really set the stage.
It's easy to focus on the malicious side, the trolling teachers side. But our sources also highlight the very early roots of ethical hacking, which is quite something. Long before the term even existed, a punch card computer expert and French resistance member named René Carmille back in 1940, he leveraged his technical access to France's Vichy government machines. His actions in disrupting Nazi efforts to track down Jews, they perfectly embody the spirit of ethical hacking, don't they?
Absolutely. Using skills to exploit vulnerabilities, not for malicious gain, but for a greater good. In his case, literally protecting lives. It's a powerful early example. And around that time, theoretically at least, the idea of self-replicating computer programs was proposed. 1949, by the computer pioneer John von Neumann. This visionary concept, it really laid the groundwork for what would eventually become computer viruses, though it took a while to actually happen.
And the first real computer virus that's believed to have surfaced in 1969 at the University of Washington.
That's right. An unnamed person installed a program nicknamed the Rabbits virus. It just replicated itself over and over until it overwhelmed and shut down the computer.
So the theoretical became reality. Just like that.
Pretty much. And that first offensive move in the digital arms race, it sparked an inevitable countermove.
Which connects to the bigger picture, right? The emergence of ARPANET in the 70s.
Exactly. The Advanced Research Projects Agency Network, the precursor to the internet. That's really when cybersecurity went from being, theoretical to an absolute necessity. As systems started connecting, vulnerabilities just became much more widespread, much more dangerous.
And that's where Creeper comes in, isn't it? 1971.
Yes, Bob Thomas, an ARPANET developer, he created this program, but it wasn't malicious, not really. It was a security test. It would move across ARPANET, displaying that now iconic message, "I'm the Creeper, catch me if you can."
Ah, classic.
It was a proof of concept, basically showing how easily a program could spread and, well, interfere with systems.
And the response. That was the big milestone.
A huge milestone. Ray Tomlinson, Thomas's colleague, created the Reaper program. It also replicated itself across ARPANET, but its job was to find copies of Creeper and essentially log them out, making them impotent.
Wow.
That was the very first attempt at cybersecurity. You could argue it was the first antivirus software born directly out of necessity.
So the arms race had truly begun.
It had.
Then the 1980s saw, well, a significant dark turn in this digital dance. As computers became more widespread, especially personal computers, the malicious intent behind hacking really ramped up.
It did. This decade saw a surge in high-profile attacks. National CSS, AT&T, even Los Alamos National Laboratory. And the terms we know today, Trojan horse, computer virus, they actually made their debut then, signifying a new, more dangerous era.
And during the Cold War, cyber espionage became a factor too.
A growing silent threat, absolutely. This period truly saw cybercrime take flight. It moved beyond pranks to serious, damaging exploits. And as a direct response, it led to the birth of commercial antivirus software in 1987. Programs like Antivirus and Flushshot Plus started appearing.
Right, the market responding.
Escalating the arms race further.
Then came the 90s. The internet just explodes onto the scene, doesn't it? Bringing the world online at this astonishing pace.
Massive growth. And with it, the cybersecurity sector had to expand incredibly rapidly just to try and keep up.
And the threats evolved too. Polymorphic viruses.
Yeah, 1990. These viruses could constantly change their digital signature, their code, made them incredibly difficult for early antivirus software to spot and stop. We even saw malware like Disk Killer being accidentally distributed through, believe it or not, a computer magazine.
Oh, wow. So how did the defenses try to keep up with that?
Well, what's fascinating here is the continuous innovation from both sides, isn't it? This constant back and forth. To combat these new mutating threats, solutions like Secure Sockets Layer, SSL, were developed. Netscape, 1995.
SSL, right?
Yeah, this technology essentially creates an encrypted tunnel for your online data, helps secure internet transactions. It forms the basis for the HTTPS we rely on today for secure websites.
We really can't talk about this era without mentioning Kevin Mitnick, often called the first cyber criminal.
That's the name everyone remembers from that time, yeah.
Yeah.
From the 70s up to 95, he accessed highly secure networks, Motorola, Nokia, but primarily he used complex social engineering, basically tricking people into giving him passwords. Less about pure technical wizardry, more about human manipulation.
And after his arrest and prison time, he actually became a cybersecurity consultant.
He did. His story really highlights that dual nature of hacking. The skills can be used for good or bad.
Which brings us back to ethical hacking.
Indeed. While the term ethical hacking was formally introduced in 1995 by IBM VP John Patrick, the practice, as we saw with Rene Carmil way back, existed long before. And this is where we get the distinctions. Black hat hackers with malicious intent, white hat ethical hackers who find vulnerabilities to improve security.
And gray hats.
And gray hats, yeah. They operate in a more ethically ambiguous space, maybe uncovering vulnerabilities without permission or even working with governments for cyber defense or offense. It's complex. Today, ethical hacking has certification programs. It's a recognized profession, fully part of the security landscape.
Okay, so moving into the 2000s, an amazing expansion of the internet into homes, businesses, creating countless new opportunities for cybercriminals. How did this massive growth inevitably lead to new kinds of threats?
Well, the threats just diversified and multiplied significantly. We started seeing viruses that could infect systems just by visiting a website, drive-by downloads, that sort of thing.
Scary.
Yeah. Instant messaging breaches became common, and a huge rise in credit card hacks. The sheer volume of data breaches truly escalated after 2005. That's when businesses and governments really shifted from paper to digital records en masse.
Right, more data online means more targets.
Exactly. Our sources note that in 2005, 136 data breaches were reported. Since then, over 4,500 have been publicly announced, and experts believe the actual number is much, much higher. Many likely go unreported. What these staggering numbers across the 2010s truly reveal is a dramatic shift in hacker motivation. It went from notoriety, making name, to pure financial gain and even state-sponsored disruption. Data itself became the prize.
It really is a lot to take in. These numbers, they paint such a stark picture of how vital cybersecurity has become. So instead of just listing every single breach from that decade, maybe let's look at some key themes that emerged, how the arms race evolved during that period.
Absolutely, that makes sense. One major theme was definitely the rise of nation-states, cyber warfare, and politically motivated attacks. You mentioned Sony Pictures in 2014, hit by Guardians of Peace. Leaked salaries, emails, film plans, U.S. intelligence pointed the finger at North Korea.
Right.
Then back in 2013, you had the hacktivist group Anonymous launching attacks on the Singaporean government over internet censorship laws. We saw #OpIsrael become this annual coordinated cyber attack targeting Israeli government and private websites.
And later, the political angle got even clearer.
Yeah, 2015 WikiLeaks, the DNC data breach by Russian intelligence agencies, alleged to support Donald Trump's 2016 campaign. These weren't just about stealing data anymore. They were about disruption, influence on a global scale, geopolitics playing out online.
And alongside that, we still had massive incidents focused purely on financial gain and stealing personal data.
Oh, huge ones. Between 2013 and 2014, major retailers like Target, 70 million customer personal details, 40 million credit card details exposed. Home Depot, 56 million credit card numbers stolen using specially crafted malware.
And the Yahoo breach, that was monumental.
Unbelievable scale. Initially reported at 500 million accounts, later updated to over 3 billion.
3 billion?
Yeah. Compromising names, emails, passwords, phone numbers, birthdays, all through phishing, basically tricking users into giving up their credentials.
These breaches didn't just expose data, did they? They exposed a critical need for new rules, new regulations.
Exactly. They exposed weaknesses not just in tech, but in policy and awareness. Take Facebook in 2018. 50 million users' personal data exposed because of stolen access tokens.
It's digital keys that keep you logged in.
Right. High-value targets. Or Marriott's reservation system breach, affecting 500 million guests, went undetected for 4 years.
4 years.
It really underscored the urgent need for robust data protection. And that led directly to regulations like GDPR in 2016, the EU's General Data Protection Regulation, giving individuals more control over their data, setting new global standards for businesses.
And the U.S. followed suit to some extent.
Well, California did. The California Consumer Privacy Act, CCPA, was signed into law in June 2018, gave consumers more rights over their personal info, set obligations for businesses operating there. A big step.
Okay, another theme that really exploded was ransomware attacks, right?
Definitely. 2017 was a huge year for that. WannaCry hitting Windows systems globally, not Petya hitting Ukraine particularly hard, but spreading elsewhere too. Bad Rabbit masquerading as an Adobe Flash update.
Just holding data or entire systems hostage until a ransom is paid. Brutal.
Absolutely brutal. And often, paying didn't even guarantee getting the data back.
And this relentless pace of breaches and attacks continued even through major global events.
Yeah.
Like the pandemic.
Sadly, yes. In 2019, Singapore's healthcare sector became a prime target. 35 third-party breaches recorded, then jumped to 89 in 2020. And the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, well, it didn't slow cybercriminals down. If anything, it created new opportunities with so many people working remotely, often on less secure networks.
Right, the attack surface expanded.
Massively. We saw accidental exposure of Microsoft's customer support database. 10.5 million MGM Resorts guests' data leaked. 267 million Facebook profiles found for sale on the dark web. 500,000 Zoom accounts posted for sale, reflecting that sudden shift to online meetings and life.
And 2021 just continued the trend.
Pretty much a steady stream. The Microsoft Exchange attack, the Excellion supply chain attack hitting multiple organizations through one compromised vendor, the Florida water supply incident, a really scary attempt to tamper with critical infrastructure.
Yeah, that was worrying.
And high-profile ransomware attacks just kept coming. Colonial Pipeline, JBS Foods, impacting fuel distribution, food supply, real-world consequences.
So when it comes to the sheer scale, the biggest data breach ever.
According to our sources, that award, if you can call it that, goes to Cognite, reporting over 5 billion records exposed.
5 billion?
Billion with a B. Including data apparently aggregated from previous breaches at places like Canva, MySpace, Tumblr, and Yahoo. It just dwarfs even that massive 3 billion account Yahoo breach. It's staggering. So at the end of the day, cybersecurity is no longer optional, is it? It's an absolute necessity. Individuals, businesses, governments, everyone. It helps protect us from this whole myriad of threats. Phishing, ransomware, man-in-the-middle attacks, intercepting communication, password breaches, denial of service attacks, shutting things down, SQL injections hitting databases.
The list goes on.
It does. And these attacks can lead to stolen identities, huge financial losses, system destruction. Defense is just critical.
Which is why cybersecurity professionals are sometimes called the rock stars of the computer world.
Yeah, maybe. There's certainly a wide range of vital roles: ethical hackers probing for weaknesses, source code auditors checking for flaws, security architects designing secure networks, computer crime investigators tracking down the criminals, security consultants advising businesses, cryptographers building the codes that protect our data. So many specialisms.
Looking ahead then, what do our sources see coming down the line?
Well, some sobering warnings. Cloud computing, while convenient, will become an increasing target for hackers. That's a big one. And while there's always talk of alternatives, passwords, they're likely here to stay for the foreseeable future. That human element, that potential weak link, remains.
Interesting.
And AI technology, artificial intelligence, is expected to play a huge role, both in creating more sophisticated attacks, unfortunately, but also, crucially, in defense, especially in securing sensitive information like healthcare records.
So AI is the next battlefield in this arms race.
Looks like it. And unfortunately, the projections are that data breaches will continue to increase, become even more prevalent, potentially more devastating.
But on the flip side, the cybersecurity market is booming.
Expanding rapidly, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Projections to reach something like $345.4 billion by 2026. It just shows this dynamic landscape means there's this ongoing, desperate need for highly skilled experts and continuous innovation just to try and stay ahead of the risks. It's relentless.
What a journey, really, through the history of cybersecurity. From those, curious phone freaks and early university pranks, all the way to sophisticated nation-state attacks and these multi-billion record breaches we've just discussed. It's clear this field is just this ever-evolving arms race, a constant push and pull between ingenuity and defense.
Indeed. While the origins might seem a bit hazy or even quaint now, one thing is certain. Cybersecurity is as old as the computer itself. Or perhaps even older, thinking back to that telegraph hack. It's tied to that human desire to explore, sometimes exploit, or protect complex systems. The ingenuity of those who seek to exploit is constantly being met by the dedication, the hard work of those who build and defend.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? As our digital lives become even more intertwined with advanced tech like AI, what new forms will this arms race take? And maybe more personally, what surprising responsibilities might fall on all of us, just regular users, to stay secure in this increasingly complex digital world? That's definitely something worth thinking about as you navigate your own digital footprint.